Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the top 5 trends in 2024 in education webinar. I'm Clint Mullins. I'm going to be your host for today. I'm the VP of Operations here at Agave, and I've spent the last 28 years of my career focused on financial services, operations, product delivery, and enterprise training and development. And I'm a former public school teacher. I'm excited to have each one of you joining us from all over the United States and Canada from the supplemental education industry. And we will have some time at the end of the presentation for some questions. So please use the question panel to type in your questions and we'll get those answered for you. This webinar is provided for general information purposes only and does not constitute legal or professional advice. No user should act based on any material contained in the webinar without obtaining proper legal or other professional advice specific to their situation. This webinar is being recorded and we will make this webinar electronically available on the condition that attendees will only use this material internally. This means that outside of the user's organization, the materials will not be copied, sent, emailed, distributed, shared, or further reproduced in any way. So let's first talk about the focus areas for this webinar. Our team has spent considerable time and effort gathering the information we're talking through today, pulling from various industry studies and articles, and from the feedback we hear from our customers and partners in the education industry. To begin, we'll level set with a snapshot of the education industry landscape. We'll then move into the major impacts and pain points, those challenges that we all face day to day. Then we will pivot into the techniques and trends that are emerging to manage these new or increasing impacts. We'll spend a little bit of time of briefly walking through Agave solutions that can help with each trend. So let's go ahead and begin and look at the education snapshot. What's buzzing in the industry? Here's the top 5 we're going to review today. Here's what we're hearing from experts. We'll dive into each one of these throughout the webinar and give you more information on each. But starting with the first one, really, AI is really all over the news and it's changing quickly. We see AI redefining the landscape of education. If you haven't already, you'll start seeing AI integrated into educational systems and apps, which will create dynamic and personalized learning for your students. Hybrid learning environments, also known as blended learning, have gained a significant momentum in education with an approach that combines the traditional face-to-face instruction and combining that with the online learning that we've all become so familiar with in the last few years. This hybrid model tries to take a balance or make a balance that benefits in-person interactions and the flexibility and accessibility of online platforms. The next one, microlearning and mobile learning, provide new ways for students to acquire knowledge and build skills by providing them conveniently through some on-the-go and on-demand experiences. The combination of these two experiences really empowers learners to adapt their education to fit seamlessly into their lives with continuous learning. Personalized learning plans centered on competency-based education, CBE as we know it, represents a progressive approach to education that prioritizes individual student needs and fosters genuine mastery of subjects. And this methodology shifts away from the traditional one-size-fits-all model, recognizing that each student progresses at different rates and requires diverse instructional methods. And then finally, the use of virtual reality or VR, and then augmented reality, AR, and gamification technologies. Some of those may be a little bit more familiar to you than others, but those have really revolutionized the way learners engage with and apply their knowledge in real life and practical situations. These immersive technologies really provide a dynamic and interactive learning experience that goes way beyond traditional methods, offering a more engaging and effective way to transfer knowledge into practical skills. So now let's see what our community is saying. Here's what we and other industry experts are hearing from you and your peers. The first one is, that we hear that technology is really changing fast. And as a business owner, it's hard to keep up with the pace of the changes and make adjustments. We also hear that parents and students are expecting more self-service options from their interactions with you, just like every other aspect of their lives, less face-to-face, more give me the power to do it myself. Parents and educators want more engaging and flexible learning environments that can be tailored for each student and their learning needs. Many of you are using multiple vendors and systems, and the administration of all of these can really impact your overall center and customer experience. And finally, processes for enrolling students, for billing parents, and all the back office functions that you're doing, like reconciliation, are just not efficient. So that's what we're hearing. Let's talk now about what's being done to address some of these impacts to your business. Let's talk about the first one here, AI. So the first trend is really dealing with artificial intelligence. Research and Markets, which is the world's largest market research firm, did a study in 2023 and found that AI in education has really exploded to a $3.99 billion market, which is a 40% increase from 2022 and a 100% increase from 2021. But the bigger news here is that they anticipate this number growing to over 15 billion by 2027. And the main catalyst behind this expansion is the capability of AI to adapt learning experiences dynamically through real-time data collection and analysis. In February of 2023, a year ago, the company Nerdy Inc., a US-based ed tech platform for live online learning, launched two new products, an AI-generated lesson plan creator and AI-generated chat tutoring software, which are integrated with ChatGPT. When applied, AI can assess learning in real time. It can compare a student's performance with other students in similar environments, and adjustments can be made in real time. E-learning industry, or ELI, reported that in the next 3 years, AI is projected to be integrated into nearly half, 47% of learning management tools. And on average, AI chatbots can respond to student questions within 2.7 seconds, which is really a lot faster than I ever could in the classroom. And looking at the graphics on the right side of your screen, you'll see that how much the average educator is working in a week. According to a recent McKinsey survey, educators are working an average of 50 hours a week. I know some of you are working a lot more than that, but that number has increased by 3% over the past 5 years. AI can help with these administrative tasks that you're dealing with that are above and beyond the teaching of your students. It can help in evaluation of your business. It can offer feedback and quickly develop reporting for you and your stakeholders. AI can help you focus on what matters and may help with working a regular work week, however that's defined, right? But studies have also shown that 20 to 40% of your week could be recouped by using AI for all of your administrative tasks. So the question for all of us is, can you imagine having an additional 13 hours a week back from all of your administrative tasks? Now let's look at the next trend, the hybrid learning environment. Hybrid learning environments, these have been around a lot more recently. These are, when parents and students are thinking about their education and how they're going to get it. They're getting more comfortable with a hybrid approach to learning in person and online, due mostly to what's happened the past few years with the pandemic and the rush for remote learning solutions out there. Gartner predicts that 39% of knowledge workers will be working in a hybrid environment by the end of last year. We don't have updated numbers on that yet since we're so close to the end of last year. But really, let's face it, the children you're teaching today, as they become adults, are going to be working remotely or with a hybrid schedule of their jobs using technology-driven online experiences. So hybrid learning environments offer students the flexibility to navigate between online and in-person learning and help equip them for their future job opportunities. So we might as well embrace it now and prepare them really for the future that they're going to have in their reality. But technology and methods are evolving. Hybrid and remote students report having some bad experiences due to the lack of real-time conversations and outdated and unresponsive technology. Some of that is advancing very quickly, but really some of it hasn't advanced as quickly as we've needed it. I think there's going to be a lot of advancement in a short period of time to address this. Now let's look at microlearning and mobile learning technology. Microlearning is an educational approach that involves delivering content in really small and specific focused learning packages. So instead of the traditional long-form courses, the microlearning really breaks down information into bite-sized pieces, bite-sized modules for the student that typically last only a few minutes each. And these modules can take various forms, including videos, quizzes, interactive simulations, podcasts, or infographics. But there needs to be a balance, right? Studies have shown that a 10-minute microlearning course has an 83% completion rate compared to standard courses at around 20%, just astronomical difference there. And the completion rate goes up as the length of the course comes down. So e-learning industry, again, ELI, they report that the best microlearning modules are between 3 to 5 minutes, while others expand the target course length to 10 to 12 minutes. But I really think it depends on your learner and their ability to retain information and stay focused. Most e-learners prefer microlearning, but 65% of them say microlearning presents too much information. And this seems to fit the idea that many of our attention spans are shortening with the flood of information that we experience daily. So it's really getting it right. It's pinpointing how much data is really the perfect amount. I'm sure that most of your students have access to a smartphone or tablet, and many of you use these already as learning tools. CourseMethod.com reports that productivity increases by 43% when learners move from the desktop to their mobile device. I found that pretty interesting. Learning can happen at any destination, on the way to grandma's house or to a friend's house or to soccer practice with a mobile device delivering that technology or that learning. So now let's look at competency-based education, which is also known as CBE. This has been around for a long time. You're probably already familiar with it, but really started to gain traction in the early 2000s. At the core of CBE is the idea that an educator may only be teaching 1/3 of the group of students while another third do not understand and are lost, and the last third are bored because they already know the content. We've all been in those situations as educators. With CBE, students really don't waste time on skills they already have. The content is tailored and concise, and assessments are based on the mastery of a topic before moving on to the next level. And CBE has educators spending more time at the individual level versus the group level, where you get those thirds that you're only getting to 1/3 of your group. This seems to really boost engagement from the students, and 61% of learning institutions plan on increasing CBE in the next 5 years. The next trend is VR, AR, and gamification. And this really is kind of the rock star of the 5 trends, even with the ads in the Super Bowl of Apple's new VR technology. It's in our faces a lot right now. Kids are really engaged when using virtual reality. Also with augmented reality and gamification. We see the ads for VR and AR. Gamification has been around for a while, and it's already integrated into a lot of the digital learning experiences that you're using. VR specifically is expected to grow to over a $28 billion market by 2028, which is a 550% increase over the current market. Just think of what that will actually look like in your classroom environments, in your learning space. It's going to look completely different than it does now. Finance Online reports that VR drives learning effectiveness up 76% from traditional methods, and students learn 4 times faster. You may want to invest in some padded walls and helmets, though. If you've seen any of those fail videos on YouTube, get ready. Many of us are only aware of augmented reality being used in mobile games like Pokemon Go and social media platforms like Snapchat. But some learning apps can use AR to enhance the learning experience by using the camera on a mobile device with computer-generated objects on the screen that are interactive. And this is more cost-effective than virtual reality, which requires expensive equipment, and maybe in this AR may be a good place to start, down this path of VR, AR, and gamification. Anytime you can gamify the learning experience, kids are going to have a much more engaged experience with the content. They're going to get higher scores, which can really cement the information in their brains and the skills that they're learning. Your students will use VR and AR more and more in their future careers. So really introducing this technology in their learning experiences can help prepare them for the future. Now let's look at some solutions that we have to help you reduce the amount of administrative time during your week so that you can focus on what trends we've been talking through. So these are Agave solutions. I'm with Agave. These are the solutions that we have that will help you free up more time for all of these trends so you can focus on all these 5 trends. We know that payments aren't the center of your business, so we try to give you as many easy to use options in making or accepting payments easier and making your back office processes more efficient. All of these channels that you see here are embedded into your current process for collecting enrollment payments, whether the parent is in your center making a payment, or if they're at their child's soccer game on a Saturday making a payment from their mobile device. You can take payments over the phone using our virtual terminal, or you can send a payment link to the parent's email. Then you can track the status of payments to payment links that you've sent out. We have seen a lot of excitement around this option since people are getting more concerned about giving their payment information over the phone. And like we said in one of the trends earlier, they're looking for more ways to self-service. We do have a mobile app for payments on the go as an option. So all of those, different channels for accepting payments are just ideas to give your parents as many options as possible to make it easy and efficient for them to enroll their students in your courses. We do have APIs that management systems can integrate to. We have various options for you to embed payment forms in your current website or your parents' mobile devices. Our team can really help you decide what works best for your parents to be able to pay online. And then the benefits of using us. Integrating platforms to our API helps really push and pull information and reduces the manual processes, which increases data integrity and also saves you a lot of time. Many of our customers have decided to pass along the cost of payment processing to the parent in the form of a processing fee. This is becoming really common in pretty much all of our payment experiences in any industry. The amount can be flat or a percentage fee and can be set to help pay part or all of the processing costs for taking payments. Our payment forms can be set up very easily with minimal effort and little to no coding experience, so you don't need to outsource this to a technology team to do this. It's very easy. We also take pride in delivering outstanding customer service, ensuring your questions are met with personalized attention and with swift resolutions. We're always looking for ways to make our customers' experience better. We do see our relationship with you as a partnership for collaboration and mutual growth. We don't want to be just another vendor. We want to help you grow your business. So some key takeaways from today's session. Embrace new ed tech, and doing this will really help you get your students more targeted, effective learning. And you'll also see an increase in efficiencies and gain some of your time back from admin functions. Number two, adopt a hybrid approach to learning by including remote and in-person activities. Your students really need this balance to prepare them for their hybrid future. Number three, engage your students in microlearning programs to help make a lasting impact and increase focus and retention of information and skills. And number four, this one is about CBE, the competency-based education. Find ways to focus on the individual and apply self-paced learning activities to meet each of your students' learning needs. And then finally, start thinking about VR and AR and start with what makes financial sense for your center, then grow from there. AR may be the more cost-effective way to start down that path. Try to include gamification whenever possible to really make learning fun and increase engagement. With that, let's open it up for some of your questions. Please use the questions panel to type in your questions. And if we don't have time to get to all of the questions, we'll follow up with you after the webinar. Okay, here's the first one. Does Agave allow recurring payments? And can I skip a month or two due to the holidays or summer vacations? Yes, on both. We do have recurring payments, so you can set up a payment plan for your parent, and then that payment plan, however long it is, if you need to pause that payment plan during the summer months or vacations or for whatever reason, you can pause that payment plan and then restart it when you need to. Another question that came in, does your system store credit cards or payment information in general, I think is what they're meaning. So we do ACH, which is electronic check, and credit cards. And both of those payment details, whether it's a credit card information or routing number and checking account information, we can store those in what we call a digital wallet in our platform. So that can be saved, it can be gathered from the parent and then saved to make payments down the road. And of course, there's an agreement between you and the parent that you're going to store that information on file and then charge them when you need to for the amount that's needed through their child's learning experience with you. All right, we'll wait for any other questions to come in. Okay, great. Well, it looks like we don't have any more questions. So, we'd love to have some conversations with you, whether you're already using us or if you aren't using us and have some questions, please contact us and we'll see how we can fit into your workflow. And thank you very much for your time today and taking time out of your day to spend this with me. I hope you have a great rest of your week and hope to hear from you soon. Thank you very much.